Hi everyone, Ken Ravago, lead property manager with Ravago Group. One of the most common questions we get asked from landlords is, what happens if my tenant doesn't pay rent? Whether you're already partnered with us, looking to interview us for the job, or cruise around on YouTube, it's a very common question, and I thought we'd make a video on it. Nevada uses something called the summary eviction process. And there's also the formal eviction process. But the summary is used 99% of the time, and it's one of the fastest eviction systems in the country. And today I'll walk you through step by step of what actually happens from the very first notice all the way to the constable lockout, so you'll know what to expect. So when a tenant doesn't pay rent, everything starts with a 7-day notice to pay rent or quit. And that notice must be served by a constable, sheriff, licensed process server, and agent of attorney licensed in the state of Nevada. So this gives a tenant 7 judicial days, meaning business days, no weekends, no holidays, to either pay the rent in full or move out voluntarily. If the tenant pays during those 7 days, the process stops. If they move out, then you can take the property back. But if they don't do either one, then we move into the court phase of the summary eviction process. So after the notice expires, the landlord or your property manager files a complaint for summary eviction with the local justice court. There is Henderson, Nevada, North Las Vegas. There's little nuances, but today we'll be talking about Las Vegas. And this is what officially begins with the eviction case. And the court reviews everything to make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, to make sure the notice was served correctly and legally. You'll be surprised what can get kicked back, so you want to make sure you are doing everything correctly to a T. So on this third step, the tenant has a right to file what's called an answer with the court before the 7 days are up. If they do file an answer, the court will schedule a hearing. So both sides gets a notice in the mail with a date and time of the hearing. At the hearing, which we normally 99% of the time attend, the judge listens to both parties and decides whether rent is owed and whether an eviction should be granted. There's certain reasons eviction would not be granted, and we'll have other video content on that. The judges will make that decision at the time. So 2 possible outcomes in the judge's decision. Either the eviction is denied and the landlord may still file for a more detailed formal eviction case, which I talked about earlier right in the front of the video. Or number 2, the eviction is granted. The judge signs an eviction order that gets electronically sent to the constable's office. At that point, we'll get a call from the constable's office, and the constable will post the eviction order on the tenant's door with the date and the time of the lockout. In the background, we are readying the locksmith to perform the rekey. So the second thing that happens is once the landlord pays the constable fee, the constable comes back on the scheduled date to remove the tenant and secure the property with the locksmith right behind them. So at that point, the landlord or property manager officially regains possession. We make an accounting of what any items left behind, and that's where the process starts of getting the property on the way to re-rental. So even after the eviction order is posted by the constable, the tenant may still file a motion to stay or vacate the eviction, or they can appeal to the district court. But under the laws of Nevada, a tenant can't file a stay after a hearing has happened, and they can only file 1 stay motion per case. In a nutshell, that's the entire Las Vegas summary eviction process for non-payment of rent. We'll have another video on other forms of evictions, and that's from the 7-day notice all the way to the constable lockout. At the Ravago Group, if you're currently partnered with us and one of our owners, will handle this entire process from start to finish if it happens. We'll handle it legally, quickly, and professionally, so you'll never have to navigate it alone. We've got your back. If you're looking to interview us or you're using us as a resource, please reach out if you have any questions. If you want to borrow my handy dandy flowchart. And again, all of this information is on the Civil Law Self-Help Center.org. Ken Ravago, lead property manager of the Ravago Group. We wish you the best of luck in your rental property endeavors. Until next time on the next video. Have a great day.